Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So I know it's been a bajillion gazillion years since I filmed a new video for you guys, but I'm here with you now, and today's topic is going to be writing your long essay section for college. So I know for a lot of my younger friends, juniors, sophomores, freshmen, no matter your age, you should probably be thinking about writing your long essay, especially if you're about to embark on that process. So my juniors, yeah, it seems like it's a bit early to be thinking about that stuff, but I'm telling you, the sooner you think about it and have a general idea of where you're going, the better it's going to be in the long run. The last thing you want to do is be like, I have a deadline in like 2 days and I have to write a 3-page essay on what's meaningful to me and I haven't even thought about that. That's the last situation you want to be in. So I am here to give you guys some helpful hints and tips and tricks and stuff that I did to write my essay that got me into a really good school with a really good scholarship. I will be doing a whole series on that in another part of my channel once I get back my final admissions decisions from all the schools that I applied to. I will make a whole video detailing my decision, how I made that decision, what was important to me when deciding a school, so then I can definitely post that up for you guys later so that all of you get to know what was important when I was choosing my school for me. And then if there's interest, I will continue to do like a college series while I'm in college and like expand on what I am doing and how I'm enjoying my experiences there. So definitely keep an eye open for that. But today's topic is going to be talking about your long essay. So here are my tips and tricks. So my first piece of advice is to go through and make a list of colleges, all the colleges that you're thinking about applying to, and the ones that you definitely know for sure you're going to apply to. Now, a lot of schools use the Common Application, which is one application. You basically fill out all your information on one main application. It'll take like an hour and a half, 2 hours to do all the like biographical information and all the stuff about you, and then you'll have to write your essay. Almost every school that you apply to will require you to write a long essay for the Common App portion of their application. On top of that, a lot of schools will have you answer short answer questions that are specific to their school. So you'll write a short answer detailing how you feel about this thing because they understand your main essay is a form essay that's being sent to every college you're applying to, and so they want to get to know a little bit more about you and a little bit more about how your ideas relate to the school's message. So be aware that you will also have short answer questions to think about, and I will do a whole nother video on detailing how I wrote my short answer essay questions and give you guys some tips and tricks on that one too. So after you have your list that you're applying to, figure out which ones are on the Common Application and which ones require their own application. For me, the only ones that really required their own application was MIT, U of I, and I think that was it. So just be aware that some schools that you're applying to may not need the Common App. And if you're only like, I really want to go to this school, I would encourage you to check out more schools. If you just apply to one school and you don't get in, then you're kind of up a creek without a paddle. So once you know all your schools and have that list for sure done, then you want to go online and go to the Common App or go to their individual applications and look at the questions that they're going to ask you. The Common App prompts very rarely change, so the next year's questions are probably going to be very similar to this year's questions, and you can just Google Common App essay prompts and they'll come up. And then there'll be like 6 prompts that you can choose to write your big essay on. So once you know those prompts, kind of select a couple that you're going to want to maybe think about answering more. Now, I will do a whole different section of this video on what you probably shouldn't write your Common App essay on because I see a ton of them. So after you have a couple prompts that you want to do, you want to go through and write down a couple of the topics that you are thinking about writing about. Pick out a couple prompts that you feel like hit home for you, and then write down a couple ideas about what you want to talk about. An idea that just kind of hits you and is like, yes, I can write 800 words on this prompt, no problem. So there's going to be a couple ideas, definitely jot those down. And if it doesn't happen right away, that's okay, because you still have quite a bit of time. That's why I'm telling you to get a jump on it now so that you have a lot of time to let that simmer and figure out, hey, this happened, maybe I can go in this direction, and so on and so forth. So after you have broken down the different prompts and a couple ideas that you can write about, take that a step further. Take all the individual ideas and kind of break it down into the structure. Okay, this is the big thing that happened. This is what I learned from it, or this is how my perspective changed, or like, and a couple different things like, okay, I learned this, this, and this, and this about myself. So you're definitely going to want to make sure that you take that and you run with it. because your essay is supposed to convey who you are. So you definitely want to make sure that you're breaking it down and painting a very clear picture about who you are, what you learned from this experience, how it changed you, morphed you into the person that you are today. Because ultimately, everyone's life experiences are different, and the admissions committee is trying to find out more about you. They don't want to know more about your stats or something that they could find out from a different part of your profile. So like, they know your grades already. Don't use that main essay prompt to talk about, well, my grades really sucked freshman year because of X and X and X. Unless that X and X and X is what you want to write your essay on. Maybe your parents got divorced and that changed your perspective on the world. Definitely feel free to write about that, but don't use your Common App essay as a place to justify, well, this is why this happened. Definitely use your essay as a way to show the admissions committee more of your personal self, more of your unique style, your unique life skills and perspective, because the admissions committee at a university is trying to put together a diverse class that has different beliefs and different interests so that you all learn off of each other and feed off of each other's energy. So ultimately that's what they're trying to do, make sure that your unique perspective comes across in whatever topic you choose to do. So once you have your outline and what you want to do and how you broke it down, so exactly what you want to address in your topic, go ahead and start writing your first draft. And even if you don't start doing that 2-3 months from now, I would recommend that you probably start doing it now. Definitely think about it. I would say try and shoot to have your first draft done June. You might want to get it done before you leave school so a counselor or teacher, someone can look it over before you leave for summer break, and then you can take that advice and refine it so that when you come back in the fall you already have your second draft done and ready to go. So as I said, after you have written your first draft, make sure that you have a teacher, counselor, whoever, proofread it and give you feedback on it. Now, the tricky thing is when you're having adults proofread your essays, you want to make sure, number one, that the adult has a very good idea of who you are and your perspective and isn't going to give you advice that's going to be detrimental to you. Not that any teacher would try and hurt any student's chances of getting into a college, but if you go and ask an English teacher that you never had a relationship with to proofread it, they might not understand that, hey, this event really changed it in this way. So you want to try and get someone who understands kind of where you're coming from and understands who you are a little bit more to proofread your essays so that your voice doesn't get lost. Another tip of advice for me anyway, make sure that you don't have 12 people proofreading your essay. Because if you're taking advice from 12 different people and morphing that into your essay, your voice is going to get lost. If you're taking, oh, well, this is really good, but if you did this, it would be better. Someone who doesn't even know you, maybe that sentence was the hook, what made you unique and your perspective on it, and it written in that way was just it was a powerful thing, and maybe it didn't need that extra thing. And someone who doesn't know you and doesn't know that life experience that you had or understand your attitude towards life could kind of cause you to lose your voice. Grammatical things, yes, go ahead, spelling, checking, that sort of thing, definitely go to an English teacher. But don't feel like just your English teachers and your counselors can do it. If you have a really close relationship with a STEM teacher, then definitely feel free to have them look over it, because they'll know who you are and they'll tell you, hey, your voice is kind of getting lost in here. You can have them proofread it and be like, does this sound like me anymore? Your unique voice is the most powerful thing you have in writing this essay, and it could be the difference between getting into that dream school and not. Because ultimately, if you're applying to a school that you really want to go to, that you are statistically likely to get into, so you have the grades, you have the SAT scores, then you definitely want to make sure that you're using your essay to explain, this is why you should let me in, because I think differently than everyone else. So as I mentioned earlier, I was going to go into a couple things that you shouldn't write your Common App essay on. The winning championship goal that you scored at your soccer game or whatever. Yes, that's really, really cool. And that's an amazing experience, I'm sure, but writing your college application essay on it, it's kind of expected. Writing it on something that you've done like that is very much something that admission committees see a lot. They see a lot of kids writing about the winning goal or basket or touchdown or whatever, but you're not getting into who you are. You're not getting into how that shaped you. Using that as a metaphor for working with a team and pushing yourself harder to be better, and understanding that through difficulty, through tragedy, through hard work, eventually comes success. Yes, write it on that. Use that as like a platform to build off with other ideas. But don't just let that be your whole essay, because it's going to be very flat, stagnant. You're going to see a lot of them. It's just going to kind of be a toss-out. I did not write about something that directly happened to me. I wrote about something that I had seen happen and how it changed my perspective on life, how it showed growth, how it taught me that everyone should be equal, everyone should be accepted, and it was very, very powerful to me. And yes, maybe it wasn't necessarily something that directly happened to me or something that I directly did. It was an experience that I still lived through though, and I learned a lot about myself, my values, and what's really, really important to me, and what I'm willing to risk to continue that. So definitely don't feel like just because something maybe didn't happen directly to you, if you learned something about it, if it changed the way you looked at the world, write about it. If it prompted you to take action, to stand up for something, challenged a belief, something you'd already thought, for sure this is what I thought, and it kind of changed that, feel free to talk about that. Don't feel constricted just because it wasn't an event that happened directly to you. That's what admissions committees are looking for. Ultimately, they're looking for growth. They're looking for people that took what they had seen and what they had thought and understood that, hey, maybe it's not as black and white as I thought it was. Maybe something changed, and understanding I can grow, I can change, I can mature. That's what people are looking for. You don't want a campus full of kids running around. You want young adults who are being molded to be leaders. So definitely, if something challenged your views on something and you had to stand up and say something, talk about it. Like, it's a powerful and very important and impactful message to send. So please, please, don't write about the time your dog died, or, you know, you won the championship game, or you lost the championship game. Don't write a flat, stagnant essay. Make sure that you convey, this experience happened, this thing happened, and here's what I learned from it. Because if you're just, oh, this happened, college admissions don't want to see that. They want to see growth. They want to see that you took an obstacle and you learned from it, you dealt with it, you grew from it. So please, please don't write a stagnant essay. So this has been my tips for writing a successful college essay for the long essay portion of your applications. If there is a little bit more interest in maybe seeing what I thought about the short answer questions, maybe you guys are curious to see what questions I got for the short answer questions and how I addressed them. Maybe you guys want to see my stats. I don't know, like my extracurriculars and everything else. So definitely let me know in the comments below if you have any questions or concerns or comments about college, or maybe you're just really nervous, or maybe whatever it might be. I'm here to help. I've been through this process. I have played the waiting game. I have been freaking out because I still haven't received all of my admissions decisions, and some colleges don't like to hand out a date that they're gonna release them. So you're just like, okay, what am I supposed to do? Like, I just sit here and wait and freak out, because that's what college does to you. So I really hope this has been informative. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you all have a wonderful day. I will see you guys later. Thanks.